Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NFL player props video. I might do another video tomorrow just to go over my last minute changes on the spreads, totals, and sides, and some additional player props. They don't put up all of the player props until the day before, like some of those odder categories. And sometimes I like to go in on those. So I will probably have a follow-up video tomorrow. If you don't see one, then I'll just be adding props on X or in the pinned comment. But let's jump into the props I have for you right now. All right, guys, so recapping the Monday Night Football plays I gave out, I gave you two leans for that, and they both did cash. Ray Davis under 3.5 quarter one rush yards. He had 0. He did not even have a rush attempt. And then James Cook over 3.5 quarter one rush attempts. He did hit that. I believe he had more than, I stopped counting at 4, to be honest. All right. And then I did give a last minute best bet. So I didn't give you one in the video, but last minute, about an hour before kickoff, I did post in the pinned comment and on X letting you know that I saw Devon Achane over 3.5 first downs. These first down props I haven't seen yet this year, and Underdog used to do them last year, and he used to cash out on these on CD Lamb specifically. So I went in on that, and it did not hit. He only had 3. So unfortunately, that worked against us on the record. The leans record is doing great. And then we missed the touchdown. Achane did all the work, and then they took him out and let Ollie Gordon have the touchdown. So that kind of sucked for us. I wanted to show you the 75% profit boost. So when I get a 10%, 20%, 30% profit boost, I'm going to place probably like a normal bet. But if I'm getting a 75% profit boost or like 100% profit boost, then I usually like to eat a lot of chalk and just build up my bankroll. So on this one, I bet 50 to win 93, barely, not even quite a double up, but close. And so that's what I like to do. These are the sorts of bets behind the scenes that keep me profitable, even if I'm losing on like my best bet plays that I'm giving out. So this is what's keeping me profitable behind the scenes, are bets like this. I just wanted to share that with you. You can do whatever you want with your profit boost tokens, obviously. So the first play I have for you is no longer available. It's Joe Flacco under 260.5 passing yards. I got this on Monday or Tuesday, and I posted it on X. So you could have gotten on this with me as well. I've told you guys that you need to go follow me over there because I will post stuff on there that I think might move. And this one moved a lot. So now it's down to 224.5, and I know people are still betting the under. I might like the over on it now because I can hit like a middle with 30-yard, like a 30-yard difference, like a 35-yard difference. That's huge. So I probably won't be going in on the over, but I did grab that under at a really nice number earlier in the week. It might not matter. He might go over both numbers and just completely screw me. But sometimes that early line matters, and it matters more in football than in any other sport. So I will be posting those early player props on Monday and Tuesday, usually on X. Sometimes I try to do a video, but I only had like 4 or 5 of them, and so I didn't do a video. But I will try to do a video on Monday, Tuesday. I usually do. But if I don't, they'll always be on X for you. Jared Goff couldn't clear this number. Jaden Daniels couldn't clear this number. Flacco couldn't clear this number against the Ravens last week, not even close. So I do like this bet here. All right. Breece Hall over 20.5 receiving yards. I don't think this one has moved very much, but this was another early play that I gave out. Nick Chubb isn't exactly known for his pass catching ability, and he had 29. Bijan had 100. And Woody Marks, who is playing on the Texans, if you don't know who he is one of their rookies. He caught a pass that went over this, and then he caught another pass as well. So he went over this line just easily. So Breece Hall, one of the best pass catching backs in NFL football right now. And so I think 21 is a smash for him. All right, Aaron Rodgers over 212.5 passing yards. This is now up to 224. So this is another early one that I gave out. I still like the 224.5 line. I think it's fine. Because Aaron Rodgers last year had 281 and 233 against this Patriots team. Now, that was on a Jets team, so it was built a little different than the Steelers team that he's on now. But Tua and Geno both went over 300 yards against this Patriots team. This line is insane to me. You could consider this a ladder candidate. I probably wouldn't go much higher than 250 because if they're winning the game, Aaron Rodgers is not going to need to be throwing. I know the Patriots are I know the Steelers were originally favored. I think some lines on some sites you could get the Patriots plus a point. So this could, and I like the over. I bet the over. So I do like this game to go over, but I probably wouldn't ladder it higher than 250. I probably won't be laddering this at all, but I might. I'm just throwing it out there for you guys. All right, so Brian Thomas Jr. under 69.5 receiving yards. That has dropped down now to 63.5 to 65.5. I still think it's okay right there too. I just want to put a disclaimer on this one. He did go over Both times last year against the Texans, he had 86 and 76. Those games were both with Mac Jones and no Travis Hunter, obviously. I don't think Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. have the same connection that Mac Jones and Brian Thomas Jr. had. He is due for a bounce back game. I don't think it's going to be this game because the Texans are hungry for this win. They're 0-2 and this is a division game, so they need this one. And they've already been able to keep X receivers in check. So Mike Evans only had 56 receiving yards. Devontae Adams only had 51. So I think they can keep Brian Thomas Jr. in check as well. Next one here, Jordan Mason over 16.5 for his longest rush. He is going to be the main guy for the Vikings this week. Aaron Jones is not playing last I heard anyway. So I like him over 16.5 for his longest rush. Last year on the 49ers when he was the lead guy, so when Christian McCaffrey was not on the field, he was over in 7 of 9 games, which is 78%. That is insane. He did already hit this line once this year with Aaron Jones playing. So I love Jordan Mason to get an explosive run as the main guy against this weak Bengals defense. All right, Ricky Pearsall, we're riding with him over 57.5 receiving yards. This is not on the board right now, but watch for it to come back. So I got this on Prize Picks. I looked around on other sites to kind of see what other sites were giving out for him, and I couldn't find any other site giving out a line for him. And then Prize Picks pulled this line off the board. So I don't know what's exactly going on over there. I'm assuming it's due to the 49ers injuries and like who might be playing, who might not be playing. I don't really care. I don't care who's playing. Ricky Pearsall has gone over his line 2 weeks in a row. We bet on him 2 weeks in a row. He's being our cash cow right now. So I'm going to ride him until the train derails. So the first week we had 43.5 on him. He had 108. Second week we had 53.5 on him. He had 56. So barely cleared that line for us. And then 57.5, obviously he would not have cleared this line last week, but I'm going to keep riding him, like I said, until the train falls off the tracks because he's hit for us two days in a row now, 2 weeks in a row. And I think a fair line for him would be 65.5. So I do think this is a ladder candidate. I do think you could bet on him for a touchdown. I did not find good any touchdown odds on him. But so those might not come out until tomorrow, but I do like him for a touchdown as well. All right, Carson Wentz over 9.5 rushing yards. This one here is just a lean. They give us this line on quarterbacks, 9.5, 10.5, when they don't quite know what to do. So usually with quarterbacks, they're going to give us a pretty good line, like 15.5, 20.5, or like 4.5. You know, those are the lines that they give out most of the time for quarterbacks rushing yards. Whenever you see a 9.5, 10.5 line, it just means the books don't know what to do. So we're going to take it. He's over in about 50% of games over the past several years. He is playing in an offensive system that probably some of their plays were designed around J.J. McCarthy running the ball because he is a running quarterback. And Carson Wentz, the coach already said that he's been impressed with what Carson Wentz can do with his legs. So I do expect to see at least one design run for him against this soft Bengals defense. And they are down another running back with Aaron Jones not playing. So they're down to Jordan Mason and Carson Wentz. All right, Aaron Rodgers, this is a bonus bet over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Bonus bet means plus money, so you can get some plus money on this one. Geno had only 1 passing touchdown, and they obviously had on the ground as well. But Tua did have 2 passing touchdowns, and Aaron Rodgers has had 2 passing touchdowns against the Patriots every single time he's played them in the last 5, going back to 2014. So he did it twice last year when he was playing on the Jets, 2 touchdowns in both games. And then he did it 3 times playing on the Packers when he met the Patriots. Obviously, those were wildly different Patriots teams and wildly different teams that Aaron Rodgers was playing on, although not last year so much. So I think he can do this again. All right, touchdown calls. I have Jackson Smith and Jigba for you, plus 110. He has not scored a touchdown yet this year, so he is a little bit due. And they're playing a soft Saints team that he should be able to score on. He is playing 70 to 80% of the snaps. He has had double-digit targets in 2 straight weeks. So I love all of that. And then last year, Justin Jefferson had touchdowns in about 55% of his home games. And the Seattle's playing at home with that quarterback that did that with Justin Jefferson. So I really do like this one on Jackson Smith and Jigba. All right, we're taking a shot. I know I said I wouldn't bet on the Panthers. I lied. I'm betting on the Panthers. So I'm taking 2 shots on the Panthers for some plus money, both of them. And so I'm only counting on one of them to hit and come out with a small profit here. So Chuba Hubbard, plus 135 for a touchdown. He's over 60% of the time last season, over 100% of the time this season, although the Falcons have not given up a rushing touchdown this year. So that's a little scary. We're also taking a shot on his buddy, his teammate, Teteroa McMillan, plus 200 is where I got it. That was on Monday. He's on the field for 80 to 85% of the snaps. Absolutely insane. Atlanta has not given up a touchdown to an X receiver. They have given up all of their touchdowns to slot receivers this year. So Egbuka got 2 from the slot. Hunter Renfrow would be the slot receiver for the Panthers. Hunter Renfrow did score a touchdown last week. I didn't see a number for him. I would say it would need to be in like the plus 300 area for me to consider it when it comes out tomorrow, probably. So I'll look at it, but I'm probably not going to bet it because I already bet Chuba and Teteroa McMillan. All right, touchdown parlay for you guys, plus 450. We have Jordan Mason versus the Bengals at home. He's the guy, and I think they can rush at least once on this Bengals defense. Christian McCaffrey versus the Cardinals. Obviously, he can get it through the air or on the ground. He ended his touchdown drought last week against the Saints. And then Bijan Robinson at the Panthers. He got vultured by Tyler Algier once in the first week against the Buccaneers. And they are liking to use Algier as the goal line back, it looks like. But obviously, Bijan can punch it in from 20 yards out, 40 yards out, 50 yards out. I mean, he's a weapon. So I do like him for a touchdown as well. All right, I wanted to point out these no fumble props on Chalkboard. I've done this before, but I wanted to point it out again because 2 weeks ago in week 1, I turned $25 into $500 with these props. Now, this was, I had a 30% profit boost on that, and I just put like $25 down. That was the limit. Now, we're only probably getting like 10, 20, 30% profit boost. By the way, on the profit boost, if you use a profit boost on Chalkboard, you cannot cash out early. So if you just do a normal like 6 or 7 leg no fumble prop, you can put $10 on that and turn it into $200. So that's not bad. These fumbles don't happen that often. I mean, statistically, they're not happening that often. And this year so far, they haven't really happened that often either. I have bet on 9 of these, 9 so far, 9 players, and only 1 fumbled. So that was Russell Wilson 2 weeks ago. Ruined a bet that was $10 for 200. But on my other bet, I didn't include Russell Wilson. Now, some of these fumble props are not going to have good payouts, so you need to pay attention to that. You don't want to put a fumble prop that has like a 1.15 payout because it's barely giving you anything, like $5 on your payout, basically, and you have more exposure, like more risk. So I wouldn't do that. These fumble props pay out really well, but they are on riskier players, right, that are more likely to have a fumble, such as rushing quarterbacks. So the 4 at the top I like the most: Geno Smith, CJ Stroud, Drake May, Baker Mayfield. And then the ones at the bottom are the ones that have normal payouts, but I don't necessarily love them. So Cam Ward, for instance, he's had 2 fumbles in his first 2 games already, so maybe he's not a great play. Tyrod Taylor, he's a veteran, so he might not fumble. Bryce Young, who knows? Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, Russell Wilson, already screwed us once. Spencer Rattler has actually taken care of the ball pretty well. He has not thrown an interception yet, but I do think that changes this week. And then Justin Herbert. So those are all the ones with normal payouts that you could go in on. I like to just add this as you could add 1 or 2 of them to some things that you're already playing, just to add like some extra payout, because these are hitting right now at like a 90% rate to bet under the fumbles here. All right, so here is the summary page. I do have 6 best bets for you, 1 bonus bet and 1 lean. That lean is a regular line, so you can choose it if you want. If you want to get in for the cash prize giveaway, just let me know in the comments 2 of these best bets that you think are going to hit, and if they do, you will be put into the cash prize giveaway with everybody else whose 2 picks are also correct. We also have a huge college slate tomorrow with some really good games, and I gave you 6 game bets and 6 or 7 player props in that video. So go ahead and check that one out as well if you like college football and you are able to bet on that in your state. And then here are the touchdown calls. H-Chain already did not hit for us. We have Jackson Smith and Jigba, Chuba Hubbard, Teteroa McMillan, and a touchdown parlay. Plus, I also gave you Ricky Pearsall. I have not bet that yet because it hasn't come out, but I would imagine, if it's favored, if it's if it's minus money, then I'm not taking it. But if it's plus, I don't know, I'd probably take it around plus 165. I think that's a fair price, and anything higher than that, obviously. So I like Ricky Pearsall for a touchdown this week as well. All right, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments as always, and I will see you probably tomorrow with a few extra last-minute props for Sunday and Monday. Thanks, guys.